Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to
Yeah.
Outside the Shy. I am JC, my man Charles. I like to call him Sir Charles, as we say. He's a little bit more proper. Like, he's like, my name is Charles McCary.
What's going on, y'all?
Well,
It's Charles.
that's right. He's
Hey.
like, it's just like maybe instead of me calling you Sir Charles, I'm just gonna start just calling you just Charles.
Just Charles? No, see, I don't like,
Just
but see, if you say just Charles, it makes me sound just like I'm just another guy. You know
I
what I'm saying?
know,
Like,
I
come on.
know, but that's how it comes across to me when you're like, no, I don't need anything special. I'm just Charles, just
But
Charles.
I'm just Charles, you know? How you feeling, man?
And that's good enough. We're in the midst of a winter storm.
Bro,
I know this is the beauty of technology, right? Like
yeah,
this is the beauty of technology for us where we can do this no matter what. It doesn't matter that we're going to get over a foot of snow.
it's so
Uh,
crazy.
it, it it's wild, right?
Have, have you been outside yet?
I gave it a little peek. I do have sleds. I do have a side by side. I do have all that. But I looked at the weather
Yeah.
and it said 12 degrees and it said the wind chill was -6.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, I have stayed for lung cancer. I don't think I need to
I
be
was
sick.
I'm gonna say right here in this house. I got it. No, we had to take the dogs out this morning, man.
Oh,
And
bro.
they were having the time of their lives. Me and the wife, we were like, "Yo, it is cold, right?" So then I called my sister and my dad. They're out in Vegas, and I was like, "Look what y'all are missing." And my sister's like, "Yeah, look what you're missing." She flips her camera, and it's like 60 degrees outside with the sun and everything.
Sunny.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Really, yo?" And it's like, so just so y'all know, the snow right now. I'm 6'5". It's ankle deep for me right now, and that's just
Oh,
today.
no.
Apparently, we're getting another like 5 to 6 tonight.
Oh, yeah. I
So
think actually what's crazy is I think the worst of it is yet to come.
yeah,
And
that's
like
what
it's
that's what
out
makes me
there.
nervous. That's what makes me nervous, right? Like, man, and tomorrow, it's a lot going on tomorrow. It's supposed to be going on tomorrow. And I don't understand how, but we're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into that part, man. But uh
Yeah, how about that women's game we had today? Oh wait,
oh
it
wait.
didn't happen.
It,
It didn't
it's supposed
happen.
to.
I think it's gonna happen tomorrow.
It's supposed to, but then it's like there's a I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, hey.
Tomorrow it's not gonna be water, it's gonna be icicles. Like they're gonna be like, there's icicles hanging from the arena rooftop. Uh, instead of a women's basketball game, we're gonna have figure skating going on
In the
at
bank.
the arena, or we can go with hockey, collegiate
I,
hockey.
I like it. I like it. Get Mark Taylor out there on some skates. That is what
Uh,
we need.
oh, that's what the world needs. Like I think that can end all political arguments.
Bro, it'd be
Um,
listen,
Listen,
that'd
tomato,
be
tomato, whether you
it'd be a
like summer, winter, it solved all disputes with Mark
that
Taylor on ice skates.
that would be
That's what I
hilarious.
think.
I would pay to see that.
Oh, good
I
money.
would pay
Good
to see
money.
that.
Matter of fact, if I didn't have enough, I'd go get a loan. Just just saying, it's that important to me. So
All right, man, we got to talk about it. We've
uh
had a few days to kind of like let it, melt and get into our heads so we could think about it and come up with our thoughts on it. The Bears took the L in the divisional round of the playoffs, 20-17 to the Rams. Caleb on today, 23 of 42, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Swift went for
mhm.
76 yards on the ground. Colston, 4 for 56. DJ Moore, 5 for 52 on a tutty. Cole Kmet, 3 for 31 in a tutty. Um, I mean, defensively, I felt like we did a solid job. I mean, we held Stafford to 258. Williams did have those 2 touchdowns, but that's all they really did on the offense side of the ball.
Yeah, and we needed these extra few days, I think, Charles and I, to decompress.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I don't know where you were, Charles, but for me, I was kind of in that, what do I do with my hands now?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because we were so used to seasons being over by like, week 9 or 10. And we were already looking to the off season. I was already doing my draft prep. I was looking forward to the combine and
Right.
what the draft order was going to be and who we wanted with the number one overall pick. And, I was so used to that when we were like winning a playoff game, should have won a second playoff game, and then it's over, after Caleb's
Unreal.
ridiculous
Unreal.
play that sends it to overtime. Because I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat going, is Ben going to go for two? Like, you got them on their heels. You just had an amazing play. Is he just going to go for two and rip their hearts out and call it good? Or are we just going to kick the PAT and go to OT and wish for the best? And I'll be honest with you, I didn't disagree with him kicking the PAT and going to overtime, because I felt in the back of my head was, oh my gosh, we're gonna waste this huge play, and then we're gonna turn right back around and get our souls ripped out because we fell and we were so bad in the low red in that game. We had so many opportunities to run away with the game and just did not hold the number one offense in the NFL like this defense did. They did. They played out of their mind. They kept Stafford in check. This is, that stat line for Stafford. He did not throw for a TD in that game.
At all.
And this is the first time when you look at a guy, and I believe he was, I don't know what his completion rate was, but I think it was maybe under 50%. And that is his stat line is the worst stat line by a quarterback to advance in the playoffs in NFL history.
Wow.
And so it felt like the Bears were the better team that day. Like it really did. But again, red zone issues come into play, unable to finish drives. It will forever remember the opening drive. And instead of kicking a field goal to go up 3-0, we go for it, we get stopped. And those 3 points proved to be valuable at the end. You can't lose the game in the first quarter, but you can damn sure make it harder on yourself in the fourth. And I think that's what happened. For me, I don't know about you, Charles, but I realized we wouldn't have been North champs. We wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have won the wild card round of the playoffs. We wouldn't even have been in that divisional round. None of this would have happened without Ben Johnson. So I'm going to give him his flowers. We were there, but I also do believe that he learned a lot of lessons in
Yeah.
year one as a head coach.
So I'm gonna go on the flip side from what you went. I think we should have went for two. I think we
Okay.
should have when you have a play like that where the crowd is going crazy, you could tell that they were just like, what in the hell just happened? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta punch them in the face again. And again, I trusted our defense. Hey, we've been shutting them down. We were cool. We got the stops.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think we missed the opportunity there. Um, I'll say this, man. Big shout out to Joe Tooney, kicking out to
Yeah.
left tackle,
Mm-hmm.
and he held that left tackle down beautifully. Like in my head, I'm like, hey, if you could do that in one game, can you do that for a whole season? I
That's
know.
a good question.
I
But I'm gonna flip that on you with Tooney at left tackle and say that we suffered on the interior because he kicked out. I also think that that's why we were not great running the football
Yeah,
between the tackles in the low red was because you gotta. I mean, when you think about how good those five have meshed for a
yeah,
big part of the season, and then you obviously lose Ozzy, and you have. Tooney did this last year with the Chiefs. He kicked out and played left tackle. If
yeah,
you'll remember, he kind of got abused against the Eagles in
yeah,
the Super Bowl.
yeah. I remember that.
Um, and so I think it helped in one way, but I think it hurt the interior. And we're obviously going to talk about that on today's episode 3. What's crazy, bro? We're already on
Crazy. A
episode
three
3.
man. Sweet.
But we'll talk about, obviously the needs going to the off season for this team. But obviously we want to put a button and a bow on this season. Charles, it's as a fan, I know where I stand. I mean, I did truly feel like as we went down the stretch of the regular season into the playoffs that we were on house money. And then I
100%.
started hearing national people say that too. And I'm like, no, you don't understand because we are Bears fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it truly felt like house money. I went into the season saying 9 wins. If we won 10, wow. I just wanted to be competitive.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a doormat. I didn't want to be an also ran. I wanted to see growth from Caleb. I wanted to see their relationship between Ben and Caleb grow. And I think we've seen that. I think we've seen every bit of that. And then some. We win the North, and we showed on one of the biggest stages that we could compete with anybody and should have beat the Rams. This should be the Bears playing the Seahawks
Yeah.
in the NFC championship. That should be what's happening. But again, I think the holes on the roster showed up that we knew were there. I think the lack of depth in key positions showed up that we knew were there. And I'm not disappointed in the least bit. It's one of those things where you knew you were on house money, but when you got there, you're like, this ain't good enough now. I
Yeah.
want to win it all.
Yeah.
And if this team had went on to win it all, it might be the most improbable Super Bowl run ever.
Crazy. It would have been insane. Insane.
But they showed they belong, Charles.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where, as Bear fans, we can hang our hat on, right? 1 year turnaround. I mean, think about last year, how bad that team was last year. Now you come into this year,
Yeah.
11 wins, 6-2 at the crib. That's huge. We protected the house.
Coaching matters.
Yes, and I think that's what it showed. Like, hey, Ben Johnson came in, and he said, "Hey, we're gonna win the North." And that's
He didn't say when. He didn't say when it was going to happen, but he meant we're going to win the North
we're gonna win the
this
North.
damn year.
Yeah, this year. No, I think as a Bears fan, we have a lot to be excited about future wise. Like you mentioned, there are definitely holes that need to be filled quickly.
Yes.
And I know money is an issue right now. If you look at the Bears salary cap, the salary cap is going to be tough. I actually took a screenshot of something somebody tweeted out. Let me see if I can find it, man, because it was an interesting take, right? It's they had the not resign, may resign, likely resigned, and then likely cut, possible cuts, and possible traded. Okay,
Okay.
so likely not resign, Brisker, Wright, Billings, Zacchaeus, Braxton Jones, Bates, Homer, McLeod, Williams, Jalen Jones.
Okay. So, you know, leave it to Brisker to have the best game of his career
He balled out,
against the Rams.
dude. He balled out, and
Played out of his mind. And I think, obviously he's got those concussion issues.
Yep,
It's never been a doubt whether the dude could play the game.
right.
I love his attitude. I love his heart. I love the way he plays. But those concussion issues are scary. And that might be, at the end of the day, what makes him no longer be a Bear.
Yeah,
Now, if he can do something team friendly to where we can see him, you know, some more longevity out of him, see him play more games, more downs, which this is the most games and most downs he's played in his career since he's been a Bear, was this year. Okay. Zacchaeus, good. Adios. No
yeah.
problem. You dropped too many vital passes at the wrong time. Um, you know, right?
It's kind of like
We
we talked.
we we got more than value out of him,
So we talked about that, right? So now you look at him, right, and you got Jalen's coming back healthy next year. You got Kyler Gordon coming back healthy next year. But then we also have Tyreek Stevenson, who did not play too bad towards the end of the season. Excuse me. And then we've got a rookie that didn't even play this year. It's Za Frazier.
Mhm.
And I think body type and like how they play, Za and Nishan are kind of like the same player. So, hey, yeah, Wright played out of his mind this year. Diamond in the rough type player, but the price tag that he can go for now on the free agent market, I think it's going to just be too high for us to pay him what he's going to be asking for.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Charles. I'm not a Jalen Johnson fan. Um, I'm just not. We've talked about him previously.
Yeah,
Um, you're going to have to get creative because of his numbers. And,
yeah,
he's the guy. Yeah, sure, he's not healthy, but even when he was healthy, he does not like to get dirty. Like,
yeah,
he does not like to make the tackles. He does make, as we've said numerous times on this, he makes those business decisions where he opts out of physicality. I don't like that. That's not a Bear corner.
yeah.
I think Stevenson is probably going to be a casualty. There's a reason why he wouldn't play in much down the stretch. And once again, I think it has more to do with off the field than on. I think it has a lot to do with his attitude and his immaturity. You think you see growth from him, and then he starts doing stupid stuff again. And I think, I honestly think you're going to see, a pretty new secondary when all is said and done. Even Kyler Gordon, you think about his health, that's a concern. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he has not been able to stay healthy to this juncture, and you're committed to him.
yeah,
You've given him a contract. I'm going to tell you a guy that I think, and I know you got that list, and you and I haven't even talked about that list whatsoever,
yeah.
but I'm going to tell you from my point of view. I think a guy that's going to be worth moving and the cap hit's not going to be crazy, but he's making about $25 million a year. And I think the cap hit's around 8 million if you cut him. Mr. Sweat,
Okay, so hold on.
I think is going to have to, he's not giving you 25 million in production.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Even though I think this was his best year as a Bear. I think I saw that somewhere. This was his best year. Actually, hold on. Let me get these numbers right because I heard this and I was like, that's interesting because I don't remember him doing too much. Let's see, sack wise, he had 10 sacks this year. So this is the second most sacks that he's had in his career. He had 12 and a half sacks back in 2023.
Mm.
He had 5 deflections, 3 forced fumbles, which is tied for the most in his career. Again, I agree with you. I don't think he's worth the 20 mil that
Yeah, and
he's
you look
making.
at it, bro. If you got to eat 8 million to save 17,
Yeah,
then I think you got to do it because here's what I'm thinking. If you've got an end that's making 25 mil, you should be having somebody like Max Crosby, Miles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, et cetera, Micah Parsons. You should be having similar impact on the games, not just stats. When you look out there, you're like, that dude's a game wrecker.
yeah,
And I don't see that with Montez Sweat. I've not seen it since he's been a Bear. And I think, you know, Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, when they met with the media after the season was over, they both said candidly, we've got tough decisions to make, and we've got to make this roster better. And in order to do so, you're going to have to make some tough decisions. And I think he's going to be one of those. We're simply not good enough on the defensive side. I
facts.
think the two top priorities, in my opinion, are left tackle and an
Yeah.
edge. I
Yep.
think we need I think those are the two biggest keys. And it's no shock, Charles. You know this, that the line of scrimmage, that's where games are won and lost. It sounds
100%.
cliche, but it is real as real gets. And you know, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody opposite Montez, but you can't afford it. Like you
Yeah.
can't afford to get a star edge and then have Montez. And then where we're going to be drafting,
Yeah.
you, I mean, there's some guys coming out that I love, but I don't think they're going to be there at the
At
bottom part of the
20
draft.
25, I think is what I saw the
And,
other
and
day.
so they're not going to be there. Now, that doesn't mean, I mean, we hit all you see all the time. I mean, you guys third, fourth, fifth, sixth round, they become all pro. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens. But you want to look, I mean, this is a team that's ready to compete for a Super Bowl now. They've already
Facts.
shown it.
Yeah.
We're just a few pieces away from going into next season as one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. That's where this team is. And a lot of that is because you have 18. 18 has flipped the script on so many people. Now we're seeing dudes go to the nail salon getting their nails painted. We're seeing all kinds of things. It's funny how folks change up, ain't it? They switch
It's
up
funny
on you,
how
Charles.
they clown that man as soon as he came out, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I think I can get.
Yeah, spa day, baby. Spa day. And that dude is, I mean, think about it, bro. And I know you've seen this. I mean, you see the PCA Caleb tour around
It's
Chicago,
so dope.
at the Hawks
It's
game, at the Bulls game. Those are the two biggest stars next to Connor Bedard, who they were in support of in Chicago.
yeah.
And you love to see it. And so now, and I don't, and we'll talk a little Cubs, Charles. We're going to get into that. But I seen a power ranking just yesterday going into spring training
Okay.
has Dodgers number one on the list, which we know. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't bought that. They
Yeah.
don't bought that. That's a whole damn podcast.
Yes, sir.
Number two in the power rankings in all of Major League Baseball, yours, mine, the Chicago Cubs.
Really?
Dead
Okay.
serious. And that's from Bleacher Report.
Okay.
And so in PCA, we started to see him make that shift. And I told you, I think he is such a confident guy. He is such a guy that's an art of his craft that I know he's gonna get in the lab and he's gonna correct the things that hurt him down the stretch. But we have two of the biggest stars, I think. I think Caleb is going to start next year as an MVP candidate. I
100%.
think PCA was in the run to be an MVP candidate before his slump at the end of the year. And so we have two of the best players in the NFL and Major League Baseball right in the city of Chicago. Now, I want to see it built around, and the Cubs are trying. We still need a right fielder. Belly, you should have came home, but whatever. But Charles, really, I think we're a few pieces away from being a Super Bowl contender right out of the gate, and it's going to be a very monumental offseason for the Bears.
All right, let me keep going on this list real quick. May
Okay.
resign, and it says smaller deal next to it. C.J. Gardner Johnson, Jonathan Owens, Durham Smythe, Dominique Robinson, Elijah Hicks, Devin Duvernay, and Case Keenum.
Okay, so Keenum, I like what he does for Caleb.
Yeah,
I like that veteran. I mean, he ain't touching the field. And
not
if he
not,
does,
not
if he touches the field, we're in trouble.
yeah.
Like he's
Yes,
really just another voice, another mind, another quarterback coach
that's exactly what I
on
was about to
on
say.
on that roster, bro. We all know Tyson Bagent is right there, ready and waiting and willing to play if the time comes. The
Yep.
thing I love about Tyson is, he got a 2-year deal, so he got more money, and he is a competitor, but
Yeah,
he is also not one of those guys that's sitting there hoping something happens to Caleb so he can play. Of course, he wants to play, but he knows he talks about it all the time. He wants to help 18, and we never want to see 18 hurting off the field. But out of that list that you read, um, I like to see Keenum back. Devin Duvernay, I thought was very good. I mean, hell, I think he helped us win the game against Minnesota in Act Two.
yep,
With that huge kickoff return that flipped the script and flipped the field and set us up to win that game.
yep.
I'm not mad about that. I mean, as long as it's a friendly deal. But CJ Gardner Johnson, he's a nice depth piece. He's a guy that brings attitude to the locker room. On the right deal, I'd be okay with that. You
And
know,
that's I think out of all those names, I think that's the one I would be like, yes, bring him back. I think he was easily the best midseason signing in the NFL.
oh,
The
he's
impact,
vital.
the
He's
the
vital.
the impact that he brought on that defense side of the ball. He, like you said, he brought attitude. He brought, I think it was the first game he came in. He just balled like he balled out. So
Uh,
I think that's one of the pieces. Jonathan Owens, I wouldn't mind bringing him back just because his wife is hanging out on the sideline. She's hanging up in the booth. It's okay. Simone
uh,
Biles can hang out. Okay, I'm just saying.
I mean,
That's just me. That's just me.
Jonathan Owens, we like to call him Jonathan Biles.
Yeah,
Um, he, you know, he is a good special teams player.
yeah. But I
I
mean,
mean,
he's Mr. Simone Biles. Let's be real.
yeah, I'm still a little mad at her for year one, her wearing his Packers jacket on the sideline as a
Yeah,
Bear. That
yeah,
that's something that I've had a hard time letting go of because that's like a huge read the room moment.
yeah,
Like, why would
yeah.
you show up supporting your husband who's now a Bear with a Packers jacket on that has him on it? Like, that was a little wild to me. But I'm indifferent on Jonathan Owens. I'm fine either way. We don't see Simone that much on camera anyway.
I mean,
You know,
the social media team loves to put her on social
of
media.
course,
They
of
love
course,
putting her on
because
social media.
she's one of the most noticeable people on the planet,
Facts.
and I'm not against him. I mean, he's a really good special teams player. He provides you depth in the back end. I'm not against it. I think too, Charles, that this roster has to be better.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
significantly better top to bottom, I think. Um, yes, while we were in the divisional round and should have beat the Rams and should be playing tomorrow, um, I think that you've still got to make this roster so much better. And I think the key to that is going to be George McCaskey opening up the purse strings again and
Have to.
saying, do what you got to do, Ryan. Do what you got to do. Let's get it done. We're that close. And I mean, think about it. Think about the dollar figures that they're looking at in merch, alcohol sales, concession sales, the way it was at Soldier Field this year, because it
Crazy.
was wild and crazy.
Crazy.
And oh, by the way, you got to host two more games.
Dude,
That's that's revenue.
that atmosphere, just watching that, man, was crazy. Okay. Likely to be re-signed. Kevin Byard, DeMarco Jackson, Theo Benedict, Jordan McFadden, Scott Daly.
Theo for sure. I
Yeah.
like what Theo does. I mean, I think Theo provides you depth on that O line. I felt like we run the football better when he's done. I would like to see him back.
I
As
like
far as the other guys go,
I like DeMarco. I think he brings back DeMarco. That's the
and
linebacker
he's
depth.
a he's a he's a Sun Belt guy.
He had a really
You know,
solid
he's
game
just
against the Rams. You know what I mean? Stepped in, played for
he,
Kev. So I
yeah.
mean, or for TJ. I'm sorry,
No,
stepped in for
I'm
TJ.
not.
So
I'm not mad about that. He's an App State guy, and he had one really good game this year, and of course, he did play well against the Rams, and I'm not upset about that. I will say this too, Charles. I think that linebacker room's got to be better. I think
100%.
that
We're going.
room
Oh,
that
I
room's
got
got to be better, bro.
the next one. I got is going. We're gonna talk about that. But I
Okay.
think the tough one out of that group is Bayard because he's older. He's gonna
And
be.
he's
He's. I mean, he played. This is probably his best season in a while, right?
led the league in picks. I mean,
But you're a year older.
mhm,
Gonna be a step slower.
mhm.
I don't know the price tag on him. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. And it's kind of like
Well, and he said, bro, he said, I'm sure you've seen it. He said he loved his time in Chicago. He loved the team. He said, but as they all say, I got to do what's best for my family.
yeah,
And what's best for his family is to get as much paper as he can before he's out of the league.
there you go.
And so I'm not, listen, I don't want to break the bank on Kevin. I don't. I
Yep,
think we can get younger back there. And,
yep.
and I'll be honest, if you gave me a choice today, if you said, JC, you can have one of the two, and I'm going to ask you this, Charles, if you can have one of the two, if you can bring back Kevin Byard or you can bring back Brisker, who you bringing back, it's a no-brainer to me. I'm bringing Brisker back,
I'm
and
being
I'm taking the risk.
I'm bringing Brisker back. I mean, I feel like long
He's
road.
young.
He's younger. Like you mentioned before, the concussions are a concern, but I feel like down the road he'll be it's
Put a
gonna be
guardian
worth it.
cap on his ass.
Everybody else is wearing them.
Everybody else wears them. I mean, I can't tell you the number of people who have asked me while watching games with me, "Hey, JC, what's that they're wearing on their head?"
Yeah,
And I've had to explain that time and time again to people. And of course, you and I, as we know at Arkansas State, that's customary in practice.
one hundred
Like it's
percent.
customary for them to wear them.
Yep,
And so, and it makes good sense. But I love what Kevin brought to the locker room. I love what he brought to the back end. He was beat quite a few times, and nobody's talking about that.
yeah.
But Brisker, to me,
The
has
upside.
a higher upside,
Yep.
and I think the gamble is worth it with the concussions. And that's when you have to, as the GM and Ryan Poles and a team president Kevin Warren and an owner in George McCaskey, you have to lean on your medical staff that you pay big money to go, hey, what do we think? What do we think on the longevity of Jaquan Brisker with the Bears? We're getting ready to have to pay him, give him a big contract. And concussions are unpredictable, but you can still get a decent idea from the medical staff. But to me, if I only had the choice of the two, I'm taking Brisker just on age and upside alone. That's just me, and may end up regretting it. But that's what I would do because he is. You said it perfectly. He's a year older. He's going to be a step slower.
All right,
All
likely to
right.
be cut. We just
Okay.
talked about the linebacker room. You got
Okay.
Tremaine Edmonds, and then at running back, Roshan Johnson. If we cut Tremaine, that's 15 million. And then Roshan's 1.2. I think Roshan gets cut anyway. He's not seeing the field.
Well, speaking of concussions,
I had high
speaking
hopes
of
for that dude too, man.
yeah,
I thought he was gonna come in and be great. But I mean, now you've got Manungai who just came out of nowhere. I think he's locked up that spot. We'll talk about Swift here in a minute, but thoughts on Tremaine Edmonds being cut?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I want to get younger there. He has his moments. He too has been injured. Um, I'm not sure that he lived up to the free agent deal that we gave him.
Yeah.
Um, I I just think we can do more for less,
Okay.
or at least if we're going to have the same type price tag on him, I think we can get more production there from somebody else. Like I told you, the problem that I have with that linebacking group is, and I felt like they played good when they were on the field. I still think they can be better. I think there's a lot of improvement to be made there. But it's an injury concern with all of them.
All of them.
Everybody
All
in
of
that
them.
group, you
Yes.
know? And so that bothers me. And you mentioned Roshan. I mean, the kid's barely played. Like
Yeah.
he's barely and again, we're in the world in the NFL where running backs are a dime a dozen, if you will, unless you're the upper echelon, the top 3 to 5 running backs. They're a dime a dozen. I think our running back room's got to be better. No offense to Swift, it's probably the best season of his career. Manungai overperformed being a 7th round draft pick. But Charles, I still don't think we have that game breaker.
100%.
I can't help but think about what Ben Johnson can do with a Jameer Gibbs type player. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen what he can do with them.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be interesting to me as well. Is there somebody in the draft that you can get? And obviously a big focus and a big emphasis is going to be on the defensive side of the football, and it's going to have to if Charles and JC are cutting everybody on the defense. like we're going to have to address it in the draft.
They're gonna call me and you. We're gonna have to go suit up, bro.
Yeah, well, okay. So we're going to be the Washington Commanders of 2025 next year. If you and I are playing, we're in trouble.
So, so here's my thought on Tremaine. 112
Yes.
tackles this year. He had 4 picks. Second most tackles he's had since being a Bear. Played in 13 games. I I think you go one more year with him. You go
Okay.
one more year. TJ Edwards, I don't think comes back next year. I think we gotta let that one go. I know he
He's
wants
been
to.
our leading tackler,
I know
previously.
but I know he wants to be a Bear. He he
Mhm.
he grew up not too far away from Soldier Field. But now, especially with the injury that he just had, he's going to be gone for
Mhm.
probably most of next season. I agree with you. We got to get younger there, but I think Tremaine is a really good piece to kind of like bridge until we can get that next group of linebackers there. Um, but as far as Roshan, I think you let Roshan walk. This one, we keep bringing it up, man, and you brought it up earlier. Possible cuts: DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet.
Okay, so I like what Swift did,
Yeah,
and he did a lot of things based on instinct and just talent, just skill set. Um, but he's not getting any younger. Year older, step slower, just like Kevin. He did look good at times. Um, but I think we can get younger and more explosive there, personally. Um, and that's what I would like to see. I would like to see us add a couple backs to that room, in addition to having Manungai in year two. As far as Cole Kmet goes, man, I'd hate to see Kmet leave at this juncture.
yeah,
I think he's the type of dude who, again, grew up a Bears fan,
yeah.
grew up a guy that loves the city of Chicago. I think he just, I mean, he just had a kid, I believe. I mean, I think he's made a home in Chicago. I think that you need multiple tight ends. Ben loves to use multiple tight ends. You brought up Smythe. We know what Colston Loveland has done in year one. Hell, Cole Kmet made the catch on the biggest play maybe in Bears history,
Yep.
on that play, and he was there. And I like his leadership. I like his build. I think I think he will benefit having Cole with him or having Colston Loveland with him. I think those two guys can play off each other very well. That way Cole doesn't have to be the guy.
Yep.
He doesn't have to be the guy. And I think he's the type of dude that would do a restructured deal to stay. And I'm hoping that that's what happens. Um, you know, but DeAndre, man, I love what he did. I like his attitude. I do. I love what he brings to the table. But you and I both know we've got to have a game breaker at running back. And I don't think you can have Swift and go out and get a new game breaker, Manungai, somebody else. I, I just don't know that you can. And
So
so I would move on.
Swift most rushing yards in his career this year,
Yep.
1,087, 9 touchdowns, most rushing touchdowns in his career. I think you do have to look getting younger. I think we do have to get more explosive in that backfield. Um, I do think Manungai is a good number two, right? I think
Agreed. Wholeheartedly.
I think he as a power back as that David Montgomery role, I think he did a
Change of
great
pace
job.
back.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Um, we brought up Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. I think it's gonna be too rich to get up there to go get him.
He's probably not going to be there, bro.
Yeah,
He's
I
probably not. But what do we do what do we do in free agency?
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yep.
I think,
But
and I think you'll agree. Go ahead.
do you pay that in free agency though? Would you pay put a I don't know who the top running backs are going to be in the free agent market right now, but would you
But
pay?
what I'm saying in free agency is if we can address left tackle and edge
Yeah,
in free agency, or we can trade for somebody in the offseason, then take because one of the things I'm a huge when it comes to the draft, I'm a huge best player available guy. And
facts.
I honestly think that's where the Bears are right now.
Yeah,
I don't think we have like this, well, you gotta take a left tackle with the first pick. Well, not if the dude that's sitting there is not worth it. No, you
correct.
don't. You don't. You gotta go BPA. But what I'm getting at is what if we can trade for Max Crosby? Well, then we likely won't have that first pick. We likely won't have it. And
We
here's
won't
the
have
other
any
thing.
picks.
But imagine what if you could trade this year's first, next year's first, maybe throw in a third or a fourth, and send Montez Sweat to a rebuilding Raiders. And then you get that back. And let's think about it. You see where we're drafting this year. Well, by damn, Charles, I hope we're drafting even lower next year.
Facts.
Because if we have the team that we all think we're going to have, then that first round pick next year is going to be another low pick too. And so I think fans get a little confused when they start hearing us toss around, oh, we're going to give up first round picks. Right. But if first round picks is 25 to 32, who cares?
Yeah.
Who
So
cares? You're not at the top. And yes, can you strike gold at the bottom? Yes. We struck gold in the second round with this nice little receiver who now is probably the second best receiver on the team
that
and
part.
may be the best receiver before all is said and done in Luther Burden. This is what I'm gonna say too. Let's give flowers to Ryan Poles and to Ben Johnson in striking gold in the draft like they did. And I think a lot of that is because of Ben. I don't want to leave Ryan out because at the end of the day, it is his decision. But you can tell from the past where Poles has missed.
Yeah.
He has missed. He's swung and missed badly. And this year, everybody, myself included, was like, man, Colston Loveland with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Man,
said the
I don't
same thing.
know.
Tyler Warren
I'm
sitting right there.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I love it. Great. Hitting Luther Burden when everybody was like, wait a minute, you just took Rome Odunze a year ago. Why are you taking another receiver? Well, you see why.
Yeah.
You've seen a micro glimpse of what that dude brings to the table. There's a reason why he was in Heisman talks when he was at Mizzou.
That
This
part.
dude is a game breaker.
Explosive.
But one we haven't talked about, Charles, and I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
Where do you stand on DJ Moore?
I am so JC, get out my phone, bruh. The next question was possible trades. DJ
Okay.
Moore, Cole Kmet. Um,
And I do want to say this real fast. For everybody that watches and listens to this podcast,
we did not talk
he
about
and I have not had any of these discussions. I promise you,
that.
I swear on my kids' lives.
Not
We
talked
have
about nothing.
not. That's what we love so much about what he and I do on this Outside the Shop podcast. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, you review. Please do all that. Is we hop on and we just want to have conversations just like you guys that are watching, all the fans of the Bears. We have not pre-discussed any of this. The DJ Moore question is a legitimate question from me to my partner, Charles, because to me, I think it's a huge decision in this offseason.
Okay. So when we got DJ a few years ago, hyped, because I'm like, finally, a number one wide receiver, a guy that could come in and be a game changer for us. And I feel like his time has run out in Chicago, unfortunately. Apparently, there was some kind of misunderstanding. That's the word everybody keeps.
They've been
That's the word everybody keeps
about
using.
it. Yeah, they've been very kind about it.
Yeah.
You know, people were trying to get Caleb to throw him under the bus, and of course, 18 didn't do that.
Right.
Ben didn't do it. You know, Ben took it a step further. He said, if it's anybody's fault, it's mine.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my fault if it's anybody's fault. But here's what I'll say, Charles. In order to get that trade done, and that trade for DJ Moore is going to go down in Bears history, because when you see what we got in return, and you know, the rest is history. When you start to look at the Carolina Panthers trade, getting Bryce Young, taking the number one from us, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That trade was won by a landslide by Ryan Poles and the Bears brass. So give, again, roses to them. But you're going to have to get creative because of DJ's contract in order to get him moved. But I will say this. I appreciate what he's done. He's a Walter Payton Man of the Year. I don't think he's a bad influence. His resting bitch face that he has on the sideline sometimes, that does get to me. That does bother me.
It's the diva wide receiver, right?
Yes.
But you look at his numbers. So he got here in 2023, 96 grabs, 1364, 8 touchdowns. Wow.
Right.
2024, 98 grabs, 966, 6 scores. This year, 50 catches, 682, 6 scores. He's played in every game since he's been a Bear.
Do you think that's because, and I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves, bro, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, please do. I personally feel like Ben is a guy, he said it from the jump, no block, no rock type mentality. I think he sees the plays that DJ takes off, and we all see it. He does not go 110 every time. You see it. And then to end the season the way we ended, when we all know that he gave up on the ball too soon, and that led to the game sealing interception.
Man.
And that's a big part of why this team isn't playing the Seahawks for the NFC Championship. I think his numbers declined, not because of Caleb. I think his numbers declined because I feel like Ben kind of phased him out.
And I also think it's because we got more weapons now.
Well, I mean, Colston's the number one. Let's be honest.
We talked about that in the last pod.
He's number one.
Colston's the number one. You put him out. You can split him out wide. You can put him on the line and play
time. I'm argue number two is Luther Burden.
Listen, until Rome is back healthy.
And I love Rome. I got a Rome jersey hanging in my closet.
Again, big shout out to Rome, man. I know his aunt personally. Big shout out to the whole Adunze family. Great people.
I love Rome.
They're from the city. They're from Vegas. So they're good people. They're great people. But
no, and I want Rome. I think Rome. I think he was a shell of himself. Yeah. And I think when healthy, if he can, he's got to work on those drops. I'm sorry.
100%.
He's got to be more consistent with his hands. But he would be the number one target. And I do think he's got good chemistry with Caleb. But I'm telling you right now, bro, if you have a healthy Rome Odunze, a healthy Luther Burden, and a healthy Colston Loveland, watch the hell out. And if you can find a game breaker in the backfield,
it's a wrap.
it's a wrap. And that
It's a wrap.
offense is going to be hard to stop because then you start looking at the complementary pieces and the depth pieces on offense. If you can restructure Cole Kmet and keep him there, if you do bring Smythe back, if you start looking at the depth and the complementary pieces. But if you're saying our starting quarterback is 18, it's Iceman, it's Caleb Williams, you've got him, and then you've got a stud in the backfield to go along with Calvin Ungai. And then you look split out. You've got Rome Odunze out here. You've got Luther in the slot. You've got Colston Loveland who can line up. He can block. He can line up in the slot. He can line up on the outside. He can
Everywhere.
do everything that you want him to do. He's as much of a Swiss Army knife as Tyler Warren as he was, coming out. That's what everybody thought. I think Colston, the sky's the limit for that dude. And so it does kind of make DJ expendable. What's the return? How do you make the numbers work is going to be the key. And that's going to be up to Ryan Poles to figure that out.
I am okay with trading DJ. I think if you do trade DJ, you got Rome that moves into that wide receiver 1 role. You got, Luther on the outside too. You just gotta have to find somebody to play that slot role now, right? And as far as Cole Kmet, I would love for Cole to stay. I think, again, the Ben Johnson offense, 2 tight end offense, it just works better. Him and Cole can play off of Loveland. I think as we keep saying, Loveland is that number 1 guy now. That is 18's favorite target. That's his go-to guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just pulled up like who's potentially going to be free agents this year, right? Breece Hall from the Jets. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
I mean, the number 1 player on the list, and I don't know how true this is, Kenneth Walker from Seattle.
And I could see him being the odd man out, except the fact that Charbonnet just got hurt last week, and he's done for the season.
And then you got
Kenneth Walker's good.
Trey Hendrickson will be a free agent.
And I see that as, but again, you got to pay him, bro.
You got to pay him. Yeah.
You've got to, and then in turn, if you make a move like that, or if you do make the trade for Max Crosby, you've got to move Sweat.
Yep.
Because you can't afford
that money is crazy.
Another 25-30 million a year guy on the opposite side. You can't have 50 to 60 million tied up in 2 rush edges. You just can't. It's not going to happen. But here's our window, Charles. We got to do all of this while Caleb is on this rookie deal.
100%. As soon as that deal is up, oh God, that money is going to be Mahomes-esque type money.
Well, and what I do think, though, I do think that the NFL and I do think ownership and I do think a lot of these teams are starting to speak up a little bit. I think we're kind of reaching that plateau, that capped out top number on quarterbacks, because you're not going to be able to go above 60 million like on one player. And that's where we're at. I can't see it going above that. Like, you can't do that and then continue to field a football team and be able to be competitive at the highest level with the 53-man active roster. You can't pay one guy that.
Yeah.
And so that's why right now, these moments right now are our window to compete, because Caleb's on that rookie deal. Because the moment that you do, say you do give him a deal very similar to Jordan Love, say you give him a deal very similar to him when you're in that $55-60 million a year, okay, then you start looking at cap numbers and you're like, oh boy, how do we? And then you're going to have Colston come due, and you're going to have Rome come due. These young cats that we're getting right now for less money, these guys are all going to come due at some point. And so that's why this draft coming up is going to be so vital, Charles, because you're going to reset. You're going to get the reset on some of these guys. I was talking to a friend of mine, my buddy Micah. He's a Texans fan, and I asked him. I said, are y'all going to pick up C.J. Stroud's 5th-year option? Are you going to pick him up? Because you're going to have to make that decision, because he's a year ahead of Caleb. You're going to have to make that decision. And, you see how bad he played at the end.
Yeah.
You look at a franchise quarterback, if you pick up his option, he's going to have to make $25 million, and then you're going to have to decide whether you're going to give him a real contract. And if you give him a real one, well, it's going to be a lot more than that. So the one thing you can't afford to do, Charles, and this, you can't miss at quarterback.
No. Nope.
You can't.
That's the number one priority, man. Free agent wide receivers. The guy we just saw a couple weeks ago, Romeo Doubs from the Packers. You got Mike Evans. I don't think he's going anywhere. Juwan
No.
Jennings from the Niners. Christian Kirk from the Texans. Alec Pierce from the Colts. And I mean, Wanda, you like Alec Pierce? You like Pierce?
That guy to me is a guy I could see being everything that Ben Johnson loves.
So how
Um,
so how would you do this? Would you put Rome and Pierce on the outside and then have Luther run
Luther.
slot? Okay.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and then Colston. I think Alec Pierce is the guy that Ben would love. I think he would love Alec Pierce. And I've watched that dude play for the Colts, and he makes plays.
Yeah.
Dude makes plays. He's not a sexy name if you don't watch all the games like I do. Like, he's not a sexy name to people. But go do yourself some good, do some homework, and go watch some games with that dude and watch what he does. I think he would fit wonderfully with this team.
His
I
numbers
really do.
47 catches for 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns, 84 targets on the year with a quarterback that nobody was like,
Right?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Bro, so he had three less catches than DJ and 400 plus more yards. So what does that tell you about him? He is explosive. And I'm telling you, I've watched the dude play, and I love what he brings to the table.
And he's
And
big. He's 6'3", 211 too. I like big wide receivers. So like him
me
and
too.
Rome, him and Rome would
Yeah.
be, oh my God.
And Luther in the slot, good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck. If he's in the
Oh,
slot
it's
and
crazy.
and somehow he gets a matchup with a linebacker,
Crazy. Goodbye.
it's
Good.
over. It's over. And so this is going to be a monumental offseason for the Bears, brother. I'm going to tell you, I was thinking about this, and actually a buddy of mine brought this up. He goes, JC, do you realize what it's looking like for the Bears and the Cubs in 2026? And I
Yeah.
said, oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I think it's one big step forward. We talked about it, and I said it numerous times that I felt like this Bears team is the 2015 Cubs.
Yep.
And in 2016, the Cubs won the World Series. I felt like we were a year early, and I cannot be mad. I mean, yes, we were that close to playing an NFC championship game, and I am super, super competitive, and I want to win every game, but I'm also a realist as well.
Right.
And I feel like, my man, I feel like we overachieved with a roster that wasn't ready to win at the rate that they won at. Now, I'm also going to flip the script for all those naysayers out there. A
Yeah.
lot of you Packer fans who are like, "Oh, you're just so lucky." Well, lucky enough to beat your ass 2 out of 3 times this year,
Hey,
and
yo,
be three, and then be
talk
three
to
and two
him,
against you in
sir.
the last five. 3-2 in the last five, and oh, by the way, we're 3-2 in the last five, which means Caleb Williams is 3-2 in the last five against your
Talk to him.
ass.
And
So
and
that's
Ben
what that
Johnson is
means.
2-1. Talk to him nice.
Yeah,
Talk
and
to him
so,
nice.
bro, I can't help but be excited. Of course, me being an NFL guy, at heart, I love the offseason. I love the combine. I love being there and seeing these guys with my own eyes. It's something that's a passion for me. It goes all the way back to me being a kid. I used to get the draft out of the newspaper.
Bro.
I mean, I was a nerd.
I
Um,
had the
I
magazines, bro.
really was. I,
Yeah.
I I mean, I just love it because to me, when you put together a team, whether it's NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, whatever it may be, it's like chess.
Yep.
Like, it's like chess. It's very strategic in these moves that you make. And you make one mistake and it's checkmate on you. You make one right move and it's checkmate on them.
Yep.
And to me, that's how it feels to me. And I'm excited because I also know that Ryan Poles ain't doing this on his own. Ben Johnson has his hands all over this offseason. And let me ask you this, Charles. If you're a free agent or you're a player that's coming out in the draft, and I look at you and I say, "Hey, my man, you got a chance to play for Ben Johnson." How's that make you feel?
Dude, I'm signing up. I'm ready to go. Honestly, because I mean, you look at and again, I think we've talked about this in the pod before. I love the fact that they have cameras in the locker room now after wins, so you can see how the coaches are like super excited. The
Yeah.
emotions coming from those coaches. The good, better, best. That's on
Never
fight.
let it rest.
Come on, man. Listen, I think as if you're going into free agency right now, the two things that I think a lot of players look at are, is there a franchise quarterback in place, and what's the coaching staff like? And I think the Bears have both in place for the first time in a very long time.
No, I'm gonna correct you. Ever.
See, I can't say ever because we had Dicka in place, and then we had
Listen,
that was a long time ago.
we had McMahon, and I'm gonna tell you, I love Jim McMahon. I do. And I don't. I hope he doesn't take this wrong because I know he follows me on Twitter.
Wait, name drop. Hold on now.
Jimmy Mack. I mean this with all due respect when I say this. Okay, he wasn't Caleb ever.
No, not
and so like I think the combination of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams has the potential to be every bit as good. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this because people are going to laugh at my ass. They have a chance to be every bit as good or better than Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
I don't think they're going to laugh at you. I think that's true.
But I'm only saying that because we've accomplished nothing. Those two have accomplished nothing in the grand scheme of things. Andy and Patrick have the Lombardi trophies to back up what they've said, what they've done, everything. And I respect the hell out of those guys. I've had great interactions with Coach Reid at the Combine, and I respect him tremendously. Brett Veach, their GM, I think is phenomenal. I've had opportunities to interact with him at the Combine. I look at the ability that Caleb has, and then the mind and the fire and the grit that Ben has. Yeah. And you can tell those two guys love each other. Yeah. You could tell how emotional Caleb was when he tried to even talk about Ben Johnson, because I think when they first met, and I think for the first few months, it was like this.
Yeah. Yep. And once they got it out,
I think Ben just was like, no, I'm going to hammer it out of you, my man, and I'm going to get the best out of you. And when I say get the best out of him, I don't even think we've seen it yet. Even with these wow plays that we've seen from Caleb, I think it's just scratching the surface, because with the wow, when he's able to harness it and become more accurate and make the average everyday plays, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like he is almost unstoppable. And so that, and I do want to say this too. Speaking of the Chiefs, we haven't brought this up yet. We lost Eric Bieniemy. Back to the Chiefs. Now Matt Nagy is out of a job because I think he thought he had the head coaching job in Tennessee. And then they said, skirt, skirt. Oh, by the way, welcome our new head coach, Robert Saleh. And now Matt Nagy does not have a job. And they brought in Eric Bieniemy. They brought him back. He was our running back coach. Now he's going back there to be the OC. Congratulations,
man. That's awesome.
Thank you, Eric Bieniemy. But Ben is going to be one of those head coaches, Charles, that he wants to see his staff go and succeed. He wants to start his tree, if you will. Now, Bieniemy would still be an Andy Reid tree guy. We know that, but we're going to see some of these guys potentially leave. Al Harris may get a DC job somewhere, and if he does, I don't blame him. Now, if he goes to Green Bay and takes that DC job, Al Harris, nice knowing you, but you got to kick rocks. You can go anywhere else. You can go back to Dallas even if you want to.
When I saw that tweet go out that he was interviewing for that job, I was like, oh, sir.
And he played there, and I understand it.
I get it, but you had this logo on, bro. You can't do that. You can't. That's like, I'm an Ohio State guy. Our running back coach went up to the team up north. If you don't know who the team up north is, y'all, that's
the Maize and Blue.
There you go. Thank you, because I can't even say it. It hurts to say. And that dude, I was like, yo, you could fall off a cliff, bro. I don't believe in that, right? But I would love to see Al Harris come back. I think he would be huge coming back, especially if we're talking about revamping that entire secondary now. The way he got those guys to play better. He just got a lot. I mean, Byard led the league in picks. Nashawn Wright came out of nowhere and just balled out. You have to have somebody who knows that DB position and it can
agreed
and can be an influence on that group. And if he could come back, man, I think that's a big re-up for the Bears. Free agency wise, man, I'm in agreement with you. I think left tackle, edge rush is like that. That's 1A, 1B, and
Mhm.
then you just fill in the gaps everywhere else. If we got to ship DJ Moore out, cool, get him out of there. That's money that's coming back to us anyway. I would love to see some draft capital probably come back from that. That way,
Mhm.
hey, we build up younger. I do like the edge rushers in this class. There's a kid from Texas A&M. Let me get his name
and,
for
and
you.
he's going to be there at the
Cassius
bottom of
Howe.
the. Yeah,
Cassius Howe.
Cassius Howell is likely going to be there at the bottom. I'm a big fan of Bain
Yeah,
at Miami, but
that
he's going
dude's
to go in the top 10,
easy.
maybe top 8. His counterpart on the opposite edge in Miami, he's going to
Mesidor.
go. Mesidor is great.
Yeah.
I like him. I look for and I don't know this, but I could see the Cowboys swinging on Mesidor to try and make up for losing Micah Parsons. Mesidor was phenomenal in that national championship game with IU. Congrats to IU, by the way, Kurt Signetti.
Not to
Um,
Signetti, but I can't give Indiana any love, man. Come on now. They
hey,
beat
it's
my team. They
fine.
beat my team in the Big Ten championship, bro. I
And they beat
just
your team at their own game.
yes.
They beat your team by spending the same amount of money or comparable. And welcome. And this is the one thing that I will say about NIL. And we haven't talked a whole lot of college on here, but we will.
Yeah.
Outside the shy, yes, we're outside the shy.
We talk
We're
about
always going to be
everything.
Chicago heavy, but we're
Yeah.
going to talk about everything going on outside the shy as
That's right.
well. And that's why this show is what it's called. That's why this pod is what it is, because we're going to talk everything sports. We will always be Chicago heavy. But what I'm the one thing that I'm grateful for in this portal era is between the portal and the NIL, we have now seen parity more than ever
Yeah.
in the college football level. Because if you ever thought you were going to see Indiana University win a national championship in football, you're outside your mind. It would not have happened if they did not go and just absolutely load up on NIL and we're able to keep up with the Joneses, if you will.
Yeah.
And because that's why we seen, the Georgias, the Bamas, the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Texas. That's why we seen those teams over and over and over. We seen them over and over again because, well, first of all, they were already paying before it was legal. I don't care what you
I
say. It was
text
happening.
it was happening.
It was happening, and we're not dumb. We're going to be realistic on this
Come
pod,
on now. Come on.
but we knew it was coming all along.
Yeah.
And so now, if Indiana didn't do anything to wake your ass up, the one thing that they did do is they said, with money comes opportunity. With opportunity comes championships. And that's exactly what they just showed you is possible. If you've got the money, now here's the key. The money doesn't guarantee it.
Yeah.
It puts you in the position, but you got to pick the right guys. You got to spend the money the right way, or you will fall flat on your face and look around at some of these cats that spent 30 and 40 million dollars in NIL and didn't get there. I mean, hell, look at Texas.
Yeah.
Texas was outside looking in, and they got more money than God, and they were on the outside. And so it's important to spend the money the right way, and Indiana showed that to you.
I'll tip my hat to Signetti, right? I think he did
Sunbelt guy.
a, yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Hey, I sat down with him, and when he walked away after we sat down at media day in New Orleans one year, he walked away, and I went, "That's a different dude right there.
I
Like
mean,
that's a different cat."
you could just tell by the interviews that he does. He's just a different dude, right? But I'll tip my hat to him, man. The team that he built, if you're looking at it on paper, they weren't even supposed to be there this year. They don't have
No.
4 stars. They don't have 5-star players. They don't have the number one recruiting class coming in. They've got a bunch of guys who bought into the system and they hit a lick. That's what it was. Mendoza, that dude, when he was at Cal, he wasn't that great at Cal.
Mm-mm.
He wasn't that great, but you put him
But he was a fit.
you put him in the right situation and you put the right pieces around him, You got a Heisman Trophy winner, you got a Big Ten championship, and now you got a national championship. And I think a lot of teams have to start realizing that it's not about going out and getting 5-star players here, 5-star players there. You
Yep.
get people that fit your scheme, and you get those guys to buy into the culture.
Yep.
We hear that a lot here. We hear that word culture
Oh,
a lot.
we hear it. And it means a lot. It does.
It means a lot. You get those guys to buy into your culture, and then it pays off at the end of the season. Now, when you're paying millions of dollars to cats who are just like, hey, I'm just trying to, improve my draft stock.
Right.
I'm gonna leave this small school where I put up 115 catches, and I'm gonna go here and maybe get 60, and hope that hey, that moves the needle for me. That's not culture, man. You're just looking out for yourself.
Right.
You got to find those right guys that fit your program, and that's what Cincinnati did, man. He brought those guys from James Madison, right? He had those guys. He had that team turned around, and he was like, well, if y'all come with me here, we got a chance.
Well, and they helped bring the culture with them.
Yeah. And now you build off of that. Key. And now you build off of that, right? Yep. So now you guys saw what we did. I've always wanted to know how coaches do this. Like if you're in a championship game or you're in a playoff like this, how do you go out and recruit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what are you like, hey, y'all see what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I can't talk too much because hey, I got to go do this.
Yeah.
But you see what we're doing. Just come, you know what I mean? Like, because I think they got some guys coming in next year. I mean, it's going to be scary time for a lot of teams in the Big Ten.
There's no doubt. This is not a one-hit wonder.
No.
I mean, you think about where they were a year ago. Look where they were a year ago. I mean,
it was bad. It was
bad. They had 2 losses a year ago. And now a year later, they're national champs, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Now, I'm gonna throw one at you, Charles. If my name was Tom Brady, and I was part of the ownership group of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I held the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft, and I go, man, I don't have a quarterback, and I don't currently have a head coach. Man, who could I get as a head coach, and who could I have as a quarterback to move this thing forward and create a culture of winning, and somebody who has an edge who could handle being in Vegas?
Do you think he would know? Do you think he would leave though?
What I'm saying is I would be sitting outside that dude's front door right now saying, hey, my man, because here's the thing. When he won that national championship, it clicked a clause in his contract that he now has to be like a top 3 to 5 paid head coach in all of college football now.
God, I gotta start getting some of these guys agents to be my agent, man. That is
same, right? Same. Matter of fact, I just text my agent. And I'm like, hey, man, what are we doing here? Because look, I think that cohesiveness is huge.
Yeah,
I think Kurt Cignetti, albeit a weird guy, albeit a very edgy dude, has shown he can win anywhere. He's won everywhere he's ever been. And I would say differently if this was pre-NIL portal time, like when Coach Saban went to Miami and it didn't work out, and then he came back to college football and got right back to it. But you've seen guys like Pete Carroll have the success that he's had crossing over from USC, where he was paying players, and then he went and won a Super Bowl. And, did I say something wrong?
No.
It clearly happened, Reggie Bush. And so it would be different. But now the college football programs are being ran like NFL programs.
100%.
And they are. So I don't think it's that crazy of a transition now. I don't think the transition is that different going from college to NFL, because they've been dealing with this, the divas and the agents and the paying the players. And, if anything, it's easier in the NFL because the structure is already in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas we're in college football and college athletics as a whole, the structure is a work in progress.
Yeah. So that's why
It's bad.
you get guys like, I think is it TJ Finley, who plays for like 8 teams in
Yes, he has an entire family. He does. I mean, the man should have a full-time gig
dude,
somewhere.
I don't know, man. I
We got players leaving the NBA. We got them leaving
yeah,
the developmental
yeah.
league, the G League, and
That
going
part,
back to college and playing.
that situation, I think they gotta stop that. That's
Mark
not.
my words, Charles. Bronny James might go back.
No, Bronny's not going back. I don't think Bronny goes
Bronny
back.
might go back.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I think
Nothing would shock me.
the Bronny situation, man. I don't think Bronny goes back. I think Bronny ends up. I think next year him and his dad end up somewhere else. But that's a whole different pod. I don't think Bron is a Laker after this season. But I'll say this, man. If the Raiders were smart, yes, go get
Bro,
Signetti. But
he's gonna be the old folks home Lakers. Like he's gonna be like who got next on shuffleboard?
But that's what I mean.
You
I
know?
with Bron, man, I think he has maybe 1-2 years left, maybe. And here's
Can
the
he
thing.
stop, please? Can he
No,
just stop?
and that's the thing. He can't because even at 40, what is he? 42, 43, 41, 42?
Last I checked, and y'all don't quote me on this. I think he's 112, but
He's
like,
still putting up
listen,
numbers though, man. It'd be one thing.
bro,
It'd be one
you
thing
and
if-
I can come off the bench and
No,
get 7 or 8
here. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this story.
because nobody's gonna D us up, and if you leave me open, I'm hitting it.
So I was at a high school game. What's this? Saturday. So this was Thursday, and the ball happened to just roll my way, and I was like, let me see if your boy still got it. JC, I threw it up, and it said, and it was an air ball, and all I saw, everybody in the stands was like, oh, and I was like,
oh Lord,
and then I had
come
to walk
on, you
over.
can't do them like that, Charles. Like,
But see,
hey,
here's the thing,
that's
though.
one thing.
I'm an inside guy. You put me
Uh,
5 feet and in, I'm Shaq. Anybody, how
and
many threes does Shaq shoot in his career? That's me. Put me inside the paint. I got you.
I got you. Hey, listen, you've been tall most of your life. I think you were over 6 foot at 6 years old. And so I've been short my whole life. So you were used to playing in the paint.
Yeah.
I'm used to playing outside the arc. So I'm a shooter by nature. I'm talking about when I walk in the gym, I'm open. That's the way I've always been my whole life. And I'm a shooter. Shooters shoot.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to go in there and bang, you bang. But I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be shooting like 4 or 5 feet beyond the arc is where I'm shooting from. You ain't blocking me from out there.
Listen,
You ain't.
MJ was my guy, but Shaq was my dude. Okay. And
I can see it.
when he got in the league, I said, oh, wait a minute. It's cool to be a big fella. Big fellas got swag. Hold on. And he could rap. He was an actor. I said, yo,
Is that why you went bald? Is that why?
No. The bald was because the hairline was creeping back. It just
I mean, hey, listen. I know a lot. I know a lot of, and I almost cussed, but I haven't a lot on this pod yet, but it's coming. But I know a lot of cats. Listen, bro, I know a lot of cats whose hairlines running from their forehead, and they think their race is a damn marathon. They just gonna keep letting it run, bro. So
listen, dude, I lived in Texas for 2 years. I moved back to Vegas, and I saw my joint started creeping back and thinning out on the side. I went straight to the barber that weekend. Was like, hey,
gotta go.
That was 2010. 2010.
See,
2010.
Listen, and I've told you before, man. Look, not everybody can pull this off.
Facts, bro. Facts. Listen,
and I ain't even gonna lie to nobody. I'm thinning out here in the back. I don't know where it come from. I've been trying to ask my mom what the hell happened because my dad got a full head of hair still. So I'm trying to put the spotlight on her. Talking about
it comes from the mom's side. That's the thing.
Okay, because I'm like, is he really my dad? Like, is he really my dad? Because I'm beginning to wonder because I look at my family and I'm like, man, I don't even have anybody bald in my family. But it's starting to get a little thin back here.
Man, mine just went from here down, bro. The beard is now before I was on TV, the beard was a lot fuller, right? But when they told me,
looking like Questlove. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I've never heard that
Oh,
one. I always get older Donovan McNabb. That's the one I always get. McNabb at the end of the Eagles run. That's the one I get all the time.
oh man, bro.
So,
Hey,
but
listen, no offense to D Mac, D Nice. No offense to him, but I think Questlove way better though, bro.
yeah, listen, man.
I
I used to
listen that
my joint used to
that's
be
some
my joint used to be
mm,
full, and they were like, "Nah, you're gonna have to bring it down a little bit." So I've been experimenting. I think I might have to chop it down a little bit before I go back after the snow apocalypse that's going on outside. But
yeah. So when things get back to normal in a month, we oh man,
I'll
man.
try.
Hey, no,
Listen,
seriously though, like for me, I've always wore my hats like this.
yeah,
And people always ask me, they're always like, JC, man, like, why do you put your ears in your hat? And I'm like, these are exactly why I could never shave my head and go bald. Because I'm talking about these things, boy. Hey, we picking up things in Anchorage, Alaska, and these things, bro. And so, like, I can't even wear hats normal because these satellite dishes stick out, bro. So that's why I can't even shave my head
you
because
know
y'all be
what's
looking like, damn,
you know
what happened
what's
to that dude?
crazy, man? I'm a very observant person, right?
Yeah.
That's just my nature. I'm like always looking around, looking at folks, making sure everybody is on the up and up, right?
You got to around here.
Facts,
Somebody
facts.
biting their shoulder.
You know, so I noticed that as we start to mature in our age, man, these joints get a lot bigger on folks, man. And I'm
You
talking
know what
about
I found out?
I just don't
You're
understand.
right.
I don't understand how that happens because I'm
I'm
like,
gonna tell you right now, because I'm older than you. I know people don't believe it by seeing this boyish look right
wow.
here,
First of
but
all, you just called me. Oh, wait, so I look older than
I
you? Is
said
that what you're
no.
saying?
I'm saying
Yeah,
like
you're
they
right.
might think we're similar age, but
Okay.
I am much older than Sir Charles, aka just Charles, and we'll just say Charles. But so the thing that I have figured out, yes, my ears have kept growing. My feet won't stop growing. I
Really?
mean, I'm 5'10" and a half, and I wear a size 13, bro. Like my man Darian Griswold and I were talking one day, and he always, he looks at my kicks.
Okay.
He's a Jordan guy as
Yeah.
well. He
Yeah.
rocks J's like me and you, and he's always looking at my kicks. And he went one day and he was like, bro, he was like, I like them. Them was nice. I said, what time? What? I said, what size you wear? He said 13. I said, bro, these will fit you. And he was like, what? And I said, yeah, I wear size 13s. I said, I realized that, you're a former NFL tight end and you're 6'5" or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm 5'10", but yeah, I said, I ain't never getting blown over in a windstorm, bro. I said, cause man, I got, I
10
got,
toes down.
I got some foundations down here, bro. Like, but you're right. My ears grow. I think they say your nose keeps growing. My feet grow. And then, anyway, uh,
I, you know what's crazy? I knew it was coming to that. I knew that's what
stop,
this road was.
Charles. Stop.
I know you. I know you. I know you.
Stop.
I know you.
Stop. Listen,
But no, I
bear
did. I
down, damn it.
know. Listen, dog, I noticed that though. Like as we get more mature, I don't want to say older, right? I don't like saying older. We get more
Oh
mature,
boy.
more seasoned. You know what I mean? The
Yes.
the ears the ears start to get real. Listen.
Bro.
I saw one guy the other day. I thought he was gonna fly away. That's because them bugs. was, they was out there.
Bro,
It was
hey,
out
I
there.
promise you, I've been waiting on my ears to grow into my head at some point, but these damn things, my head gets bigger and so does my ears, man. I'm like, man, one of y'all gotta stop. Like one of y'all gotta stop growing,
How the
man. But
how the hell
but
did we
that's why
get
I
here?
can't. I don't know. I mean, this is the best part of it. I mean, who cares about our Bears analysis
You
or
know what I'm
even
saying? Listen,
Cubs
it's the off season,
analysis or
man. It's the off
our
season,
college football analysis? They don't care. And
right?
it's
And,
like,
and basketball don't matter right now, so that's
oh Lord,
yeah.
man. The only thing now we do, I got it on my arm here. This is my man right here, D Rose. Got D
Man,
Rose on my arm.
I
Everybody knows
agree.
I'm an MJ guy. I'm a D Rose guy. I love the Bulls. They don't love me back. They haven't loved me back since 1998. Okay, I'll throw in the short time pre D Rose injuries.
Yeah,
But uh, retiring D Rose's number tonight at the UC following the game with the Celtics, that's a big deal. I want to ask you something, Charles. I was
yeah,
thinking about this a little bit as we led to this retirement ceremony for Derrick Rose. Um, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, it's called the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. It's
yeah,
not the NBA Hall of Fame.
yeah,
Okay. So it's the Hall of Fame as a basketball player.
yeah.
So if you took D Rose's time at Simeon in the Shy, his
Memphis.
1 year in Memphis under Coach Cal, and then his time in the NBA with the Bulls. Obviously, he is an MVP.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, he is. We all know what Derrick Rose's career would have looked like if his knees did not fail him. Not
yep.
one knee injury, but two. Do you think if you take his full body of work
Oh,
that
he's
Derrick Rose is a Hall of Famer?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree. I agree, but people are going to say I'm biased because I love Derrick Rose.
I see, and
Um,
I'm a big D Rose guy too, right? When we
mhm.
got that number one pick,
We
and
knew what was happening.
we
I mean,
man, listen,
thank you, NBA.
appreciate you, thank you kindly.
Just like when Cleveland got the number one pick and got LeBron, you can't tell me it's not fixed.
Right, right. But
It's fixed. The
I
lottery
think
is fixed.
I think with D Rose, man, I also look at like impact on the game.
Mhm.
Right, he was the quintessential athletic point guard. I think did he come out before Russ? Was he before Russ?
Yes.
So think about that. Think about what D Rose did, and then here comes Russell Westbrook right
The
after
the
him.
two the two most explosive athletic points you may ever see.
Ever. And D Rose laid that pathway for him to come into the league and do what Westbrook did, what
Yeah.
Westbrook is doing. But I think D Rose, man, being the youngest MVP ever in the league, helping to turn that franchise around, man. Think about that those teams, him, Noah, Taj Gibson, Captain
Yep.
Kirk. Those were like
Yep.
that was a fun team. Lou Dang, that was a
And,
fun team to
and they'll
watch.
all they'll all be present tonight.
Yeah,
They're all going to be
that's
present
and I
tonight.
think that's the other dope part about this, man. They're all still close. You don't get
Very.
that. You don't get that a lot with some of these guys nowadays. So no,
Yep.
I think when it's all said and done, man, he's got to go into the Hall of Fame just off of the MVP alone. And then you know
And I
every
don't know, and you can check this, Charles, because obviously you're good at looking at historical stuff, but
yeah.
I don't think an MVP has ever not been in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
I
didn't
don't know that I don't know that that's ever happened.
Allen Iverson's is in the Hall of Fame, right? He got what, one MVP? He doesn't have a
Yeah.
ring.
And so I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I don't know that a league MVP's never not been in.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's happened. And so um statistically speaking, if you look at just Derrick's stats alone, and if you're looking at it alone in the NBA, then some people are certainly going to question it and have an argument against it. And I understand that.
right.
But what I am saying is it's supposed to be the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not supposed to be the NBA Hall of Fame. It's not like, just like, it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's different because it's pro, which means the NFL.
Yeah,
This is the Basketball Hall of Fame. This is not pro. This is as a whole body of work. He was Illinois Mr. Basketball. I mean, he's from his time in high school at Simeon, he he has been the guy. People were talking about D Rose when he was damn near in junior high school,
100,
elementary. They
100%.
knew how good he was going to be. And I just, to me personally, I didn't want us to do episode 3 of the pod and not touch on that jersey retirement tonight.
I remember the
I
Do you remember where you were when he got hurt?
1,000%.
Okay,
I,
so
I was devastated because, you think about the time from Mike to the
yeah,
time from getting Derrick Rose, because we felt like we were going to get 15 years of Derrick Rose.
yeah,
We felt like and you knew how close we were to compete for an NBA championship when that whole crew was healthy.
yep.
And it was like, okay, yeah, we're going to run it back. And then boom, he gets hurt again. And you're like, I mean, one knee injury. Okay. Two,
So I
nah.
remember I was working at the mall here. I was working at the mall
Oh,
here,
yeah.
and my now father-in-law was walking around. And he came into the store and was like, "Man, you see what happened?" And I'm like, "Nah, I know we lost the game, but I." He's like, "Nah, D Rose is done." And I was like, and like the emotions, man, it was just like my body just dropped, and I'm like, what? And I remember getting home, turning on ESPN and seeing the highlights, and was just like,
Yep.
wow, like that's it.
Yep.
And then not being
Hmm.
able to him not being able to come back from that, it hurt, man. Because again, he's a Chicago kid. That like
Hmm.
that's his city. He was trying to put the city on his back, and he did. I
And he
mean,
did.
the
And he
time he was
did.
there, I did just look this up, man. D Rose is the only player to win an MVP that's not in the Hall of Fame right now.
That's what I thought.
He doesn't
That,
become eligible until 2028.
yeah.
So then, but
That's what I thought.
then you've got other guys like Bron, Katie, Steph, Russ, James Harden,
Given,
Giannis,
given, 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 given.
Jokic,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, and then Shea. So
Okay.
those, I mean, those are all active
Embiid
guys.
deals with injuries
So
quite
now
a bit.
yeah. So now, I mean, he's going to be in the same boat with D Rose, but I think
Yeah.
you got to put D Rose in there. If you're looking at impact on the game
Yeah.
and how he changed and how like Hall of Famers changed the game, D Rose did that because
Well, and
you never saw a point guard come in and do what he did like on the
no,
court. Never saw an explosive like a guy who could just jump out the gym. I'm thinking of
that
that
man
play
caught bodies. He caught bodies.
against Phoenix. I think that was Goran Dragic.
It was 1,000%
Oh
Dragic. Yep.
my God,
Yep.
that by far is one of my favorite D Rose highlights. That one, and then the game
It's
winner
probably it's
in the
probably
playoffs.
number one. It's probably number one. I
Yeah,
mean, what he did to Dragic is probably number one. The game winner where he just sat there and just
this stone
like
face. I do this.
like what you want. Like this
Yeah,
is it.
this is it.
Mean mugging.
Yeah,
Mean mugging. One thing I want to say about D Rose too. The thing that I respect about him so much in the end of his career was he had to change his game
yeah,
because he was no longer the explosive, I'm gonna put my chin on the rim guy anymore. And so I think that transition was tough on him at first
yeah.
because keep in mind, he's been able to do this the majority of his life. He's been able to play above the rim the majority of his life. And then he now knew that he had physical limitations and he was able to absolutely convert himself to a mid-range guy, a guy that was a dribble drive guy, kick out, find the guy. I mean, like he really his game evolved significantly at the end of his career. And a lot of dudes could not have done that. They would have just
Facts,
been done.
facts.
And he was still a very valuable component to the teams that he was playing on at the end. And I love the fact that D Rose is still a bull at heart. D
Yeah,
Rose is going in the rafters tonight. Derrick Rose is Chicago through and through, and it's never changed and it never will.
yeah.
And I know tonight's going to be electric at the Madhouse on Madison, and as we're sitting here currently in the 9 seed in the play-in once again, which seems to be where ownership wants us to be. I don't understand it. We're just, we're in
Mediocre.
that little dingy ass boat out in the middle of the ocean with no direction,
Yep.
no rudder, and we're just gonna end up porting wherever we end up, or we're finally gonna capsize. Like it's so tiresome because it's rinse and repeat every year. The thing that Acme has been preaching to us for years now, that supposedly next year is the year that we're going to spend money and we're going to turn this thing around, and just give us one more year to endure this. I promise you next year's it, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I just think the fan base doesn't believe them. And for whatever reason, the Reinsdorf believe in him. And um, I just think between AK and Mark that, like, it's time to shit or get off the pot, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of it. Apathy is fully set in for Bulls fans right now. Yes, I still watch. Yes, I still keep up. I know everything that's going on, but am I as locked in and and as passionate as I am about the Bulls as I am the Cubs and the Bears? Absolutely not. I'm not, because I'm tired of the lack of direction,
Yeah.
and I'm tired of watching the same thing over and over again. I love my teams. I mean, listen, I'm a firm believer that you just don't go out in public and tell people you're a Bears, Bulls, and Cubs fan and a Hawks fan. You don't say that unless you're ready to get clowned on.
Facts.
Like, it's not like we're front runners. You know what I mean? Like, we're telling you we're fans of teams that have sucked ass. Like, that's just the
It's
truth. I
facts.
mean, we're finally getting somewhere with the Bears. The Cubs, post 2016 took that dip again, but we're back doing things, the right way. I do feel like we're a piece or two away still from being a real World Series contender. We'll see where that ends up. I still think we need a right fielder. Seiya Suzuki cannot be your everyday right fielder. Love you, Seiya. Keep swinging the bat, but damn, you scare me in right field. Um, but bro, you don't say you're a Chicago fan for clout.
Right.
You
Not
know what I
anymore.
mean? Because you ain't getting it.
So
You
let me
know
ask you
that.
this. Let me ask you this. I don't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you this though.
No, no.
Do you feel like the Bulls team, right? Do you feel like they're still chasing after what Mike and them built back in the 90s? Like
Bro,
as far as like how high that bar was set, right?
I
Because I
think we're
mean,
so far removed from that
okay.
that
Because
there's no way.
I feel like sometimes, man, like, and you know me. I'm a huge Bulls fan. I wear it proud. I was there for all six. And even when we got D Rose and we went on that little run with the D
Yeah,
Rose group. Um, these past few years, man, it feels like it's just we'll just throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. Um,
agreed.
I think Booz has been a great find, right? I think he's been a great find. I think that he is a solid role player, but he is not the superstar player that we need on this team. There's not that superstar on this team that I'm like, hey, I know if I give you this rock right now, you could go win us a game.
So,
I think Josh Giddey has played solid this season, but again, I don't think that he is that he's the future of this team. And unfortunately, they see him as the future of this team. Kobe White, I had big hopes for Kobe White when he came out because I was like, this
he
dude's a
can't stay
bucket.
healthy.
He can't
He
stay
can't stay
healthy.
healthy.
Vooch, I think Vooch is a solid player, but he's not a number one
Hmm.
option. He's not a number two option, in my opinion. So now
Yep.
you've got a bunch of guys who are just role players on the team. And hey, we make it into the play-in. Let's go. We made it to the playoffs again. At some point, it comes like you said. It's either you gotta get over that hump, or it's just you keep on being this middle of the pack squad.
So what I look at is this front office clearly doesn't learn anything. Not only do you draft Patrick Williams, okay, who
Yeah.
supposedly was supposed to be the next Claw. That's what we were told. Like, he's the next Claw. No, he's not. And not only do you sign him,
Give him
but then you
big money.
re-sign him
Big
and
money
give
too,
him
man.
big money, and the
Oh,
dude averages less than 7 a game. Like, what are we doing? And then you supposedly, the word on the street is you're trying to trade him for what? A Happy Meal?
but
Like, who's going to take that money on and look at that production? Like, he's terrible. And then what do you do in the last draft? You take a young man that is a developmental project. Like we don't draft dudes that are ready to come in and start. What are we doing? How
And
many number 7 picks have we wasted?
that's what's
How
so
many?
frustrating, man. It's like you look at some of those drafts, right? And the guys that we passed up on
Oh
and
God,
what
we
they're
passed on SGA.
could you imagine SGA in a Bulls uniform?
I mean, we passed on him. He's just one example of many.
But here's
There's this guy who's currently hurt in Indiana that
oh, oh my God.
was in
So
NBA Finals last year that
and
we blatantly passed on.
so I
And I mean, it's over and over. And then we get rid of Lowry Markkinen.
yeah. So
What is he doing?
so here's
Like,
here's here's how my fandom goes, right? I want you to think back to God, what was that 2000? It was right before D Rose and them. On this team, we had Elton Brand, Ron Artest, Jamal Crawford, Kurt Heinrich, who was, I think,
mhm.
might have been his rookie year. I'm trying to think. We had somebody else on that team too that went on, and all those guys left and went on to be really good NBA players. When
Mhm.
they were with us, I think we might have had one good year. I mean, hell, we go back to the Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry years. We've had players here who could have impacted this
Yeah.
organization for decades. Couldn't do nothing with them.
You tell me Billy Donovan is like, I mean, when do we move on there? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
and
Like, we get rid of Tom Thibodeau.
man,
We get rid of Tibbs. And I
just
believe
because
that
they
dude
weren't
can
happy with how
coach
he was coaching the team, the
because he's
minute
a hard ass.
we can't you
So
can't
what?
baby these guys, man. They
No.
make way too much money for you to be sitting up here babying them. And then if you want production, I mean, he was getting us to the playoffs. He was getting us
Yeah.
deep runs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you bring in Donovan now
And
again
and
in
we
college. He was
hadn't been
great.
there since.
Billy was great in
We
college.
Yeah.
Great.
Different world.
He gets up
Different
here and
world.
but no,
Yeah.
I think it's time to you got to hit the reset button, man. You got to hit the reset button. I
Here's
say
what I'll say, and I know we got to wrap this up, bro. But here's what I'm gonna say. I think you and I would agree on this. I think Bears are heading in the right direction.
yep.
Cubs are in the right direction. I think even as a casual hockey fan, Hawks are heading in the right direction. I mean, they're 4 or 5 points out of playoff contention right now. Like they're heading in the right direction. Hell, I'll even take this one step further, and I might throw up in my mouth. But I even think the White Sox are heading in the right direction, and they have the same ownership as the Bulls. And I can't stand the White Sox. Sorry, guys. I know some of y'all are tuning in and watching this who are Sox fans, but that's okay. That's the way it should be. We should have a rivalry. And it's about time for y'all to get your ass good
But
again so we can have a rivalry.
hold up your end
Um,
of the deal.
yeah, because Lord knows my teams haven't always done that.
Yeah.
And so but the one team in Chicago of the major teams in Chicago that does not hold up their end of the bargain and that is a rudderless, lost little dinghy at sea is the Chicago Bulls. And it's wild to me, bro, because the UC still packs out. The UC still is in the top 3 in attendance year in, year out. And that to me is why you don't see change because Reinsdorf is sitting there going, you know what? Look at these seats. They're packed. Pay me my money. Let me
I'll
get
take
my
it.
money.
Yep.
And until something drastic happens and they show up one day and you've got 5,000 people there to watch a game and you're like, whoa, what happened? I'm sorry, but the play-in is not the playoffs. I don't care what anybody says.
Facts.
I don't care. Play-in is not playoffs. And I know that's what you've been trying to sell us. It's not. That is not the playoffs. That is not the playoffs. If you're not in, and I'm sorry too, I'll say this too. I mean, 16 teams in the NBA make the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're not including the play-in. That's a lot of damn teams, Charles.
Yeah.
And we're not even good enough to be in that top 16.
Nope.
And,
Nope.
and to me, that's still a lot of teams. That's a lot of teams getting in the playoffs, and we're not even good enough to be in the top 8 in the Eastern Conference. It's wild to me to have such a history like the Bulls have. The 90s were dominated, minus 2 years for the Rockets when MJ stepped out and retired. But the 90s were dominated by the Bulls, absolutely dominated. And there's been, you know, early D Rose, close to the same excitement, but still no title to hoist in the rafters. I'll tell this story. Few years ago, my daughter and I went to the UC for a Harry Styles concert, of all
Oh,
things.
wow.
And yeah, dad of the year right here. And so we're there. And keep in mind, we were in the Shy to see Harry Styles. We were on our hotel elevator heading to our Uber when Ticketmaster called me and texted me and told me that the concert had been postponed because of COVID. This is after COVID, but one of the crew members got COVID. We flew home and flew back 3 days later
To go.
for the concert because I promised her we were going to see Harry Styles. But I'm sitting there at the UC for this Harry Styles concert. It was a great concert, by the way. I know that shocks people, but it was great. And I'm looking up at the rafters, and I'm just looking around and I'm seeing all these championship banners and I'm seeing MJ and Scotty and you're seeing all these. And then of course you see all the great Hawks banners dropped and you're seeing this and you're like, this is such a historical venue but hasn't had meaningful playoff basketball in a long ass time.
I'm about to piss a lot of people off when I say this. Okay.
Do it. Do it.
The Chicago Bulls are the NBA version of the Dallas Cowboys.
Agreed. No, I'm
The
not mad at
90s,
you.
90s,
Are gone.
90s are gone. The 90s Cowboys were the team in the 90s.
And you
Bulls were
can't
the team
keep
in the
hanging
90s.
your hat on it.
And you
Can't keep hanging your
cannot.
hat
You
on it.
can't. And until ownership from both teams changes, it's going to be the same stuff every year.
They got to get out of the way.
And
Ownership's got to get out of the way.
And guess what? Neither one of them will. Neither one of them will. And that's the part that's, as a Bulls fan, that's the part that sucks, man. That's the part that sucks.
Mike ain't walking through that door.
Mike ain't coming back.
Is-
Scotty ain't coming back. D Rose ain't coming back.
Yeah, man.
It's until they
I'm
get
with
out
you.
the way. Until they get out the way,
Yeah, man.
it's gonna be the same stuff every year. And as a Bulls fan, you're kind of like it's crazy because now I'm numb to it, and that's the part that hurts.
And that's the apathy I'm talking about.
That
right
it's just like, hey,
Yep.
we're gonna be a 9-10 seed in the play-in every year.
Yep.
We're not, and unfortunately, man, I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yep. You've got some decent young pieces, but like you said, you don't have the guy. I love Modest Buzelis. I do. I don't know that he is the guy. You mentioned Josh Giddey, Kobe White, who can't stay healthy. You've got some, but Noah Sengay. I mean, come on, man. Like when we took that pick, and I'm seeing Queen sitting right there, and I'm
Right.
like.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, we need that interior presence, and here he is. He's got great footwork. He's young. He's still moldable. You can still mold him.
Yeah.
He's coachable, and that dude I think is going to be phenomenal. And he's sitting there, and we go to a Frenchman with no numbers. You look at his numbers, and I'm not doing this to bag on him.
No.
I'm not. It's not his fault that's where he was drafted. But why at that juncture and at this juncture with this team do you draft another developmental piece again? I mean, Patrick Williams is bad enough.
God, I don't know why I just did this to myself. I don't know why I just did this to myself. So I just pulled up last year's draft, right? So we take
It's gonna be ugly,
right? Derrick Queen
ugly.
was the next pick. Carter
Yep.
Bryant, who's now with the Spurs. The one that's standing out to me, and that just Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, I know.
So we had the 12th pick. He went at 18. That dude, I watched that dude. That when he's with the Jazz now. I watched him in that game, the Bulls and Jazz game, and that dude is a bucket. He was a bucket in college. You got Asa
I don't
Noel.
understand. I feel like Acme feels like they're smarter than everybody else. Like I think and if you'll notice, some of the reaches that they're reaching on are international players.
Yep.
Well, AK is an international guy, right?
Yeah.
And so I just like, man, I've been hooping my whole life. I am super passionate about basketball as well. And I can look at guys and tell you, like, that's the dude. And I get frustrated because I feel like those guys that you can see plain as day, you're convincing yourself otherwise. You're looking at them plain as day, going, "That's a bucket right there," and you pass them, and you're like, "Yeah, but this guy, he's gonna be a bucket." Well, how many gonna bees are we gonna take
That
that
part.
never pan out? How long until that stops? I mean, when are we gonna stop with the nonsense? And that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm so damn frustrated.
I'm looking back at all the drafts, man, and you're right. Like,
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
depressing.
you look
It's
at
depressing.
where we pick. It's between 11 and 18 the past 4 years. 11 and 18. That's our sweet spot. I mean,
It's rough, my man. Like if
it's
you
tough.
if you go down the rabbit hole, and I have, you'll have nightmares.
But
You'll
here's the,
you'll you'll have nightmares.
like again, like you said, you're passionate about hoops. I am too, man. Hoops and football are like my wheelhouse.
Hmm.
Um, and I love the draft and free agency are probably my two favorite times of the year for both
Hmm.
sports. Okay, I used to be that kid who would sit there with my notebook and I'm writing down
Oh
every
yeah.
draft pick, right? And and I'm a video game guy too. I love
Oh
video
yeah.
games. Straight to the PlayStation. I'm creating all these guys and put them in the draft.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm doing that, right? But I'm like just looking at this, man. It's depressing, bro. Like this is hard to look at. This is hard to look at. And
It
again,
to me, like it says a lot about the organization as a whole.
yeah,
And I believe they don't, I think they don't trust their eyes. Like, I don't think they don't. I do. I'm trying to make it make sense. I think they don't trust their eyes because, like, for me, a game I've been playing my whole life that I wasn't blessed with the size or the athletic ability or being nearly as gifted as these guys. I just played my ass off and was able to shoot, from anywhere. Um, and I look at these guys and I'm like, why? How is it that you can look at these guys playing the game and a lot of them at the highest level at the collegiate level and you're looking at them and your eyes aren't you must be second guessing yourself and then you're constantly going with these reaches hoping that you're getting the next superstar
yep,
that comes out of nowhere. Well, listen, man, Giannis
yeah.
isn't made every day.
And Giannis
When
was
you
even
get
Giannis when he first
and
came.
and and that's my point though, that where they drafted him to where he is, that doesn't happen all the time. That's not something that happens all that often. And I feel like that's constantly what we're trying to do. We're getting these guys and we're like, oh, well, just wait. Patrick Williams is gonna be the next Kawhi Leonard. No,
Dog.
he's not. Noah Singa, he's gonna be the next Giannis Antetokounmpo. No, he's not. Stop. Stop.
Listen, I just
Start
want
getting the guys with the resume to back it up and take those guys. And if they flop, they flop. But at least people could look at it going, that was a hell of a pick. He just didn't translate. But instead, you're reaching, and
yeah.
people are like, what the hell are the Bulls doing? And then it doesn't work out, and nobody's surprised.
So
Everybody's like, I knew that the moment you took them.
I just went back to 2018 again.
Oh, Lord. Whew.
We had two picks in that draft. Okay, pick
Mhm.
7. You remember who we picked at pick 7 in 2018?
2018. That was, let's see, that was 8 years ago. God, I don't remember.
Wendell Carter at 7.
Okay, yes. And I hated it.
Okay,
I'm gonna be
so
honest with you. I hated the pick at the time. And honestly, we obviously we traded him to Orlando. He's playing much better in Orlando, much better career there than in Chicago. But I'll be honest with you, I hated the pick of Wendell Carter Jr. I didn't like it at the moment. I'm going to be transparent and tell you all that's how I felt.
I didn't like it either. Behind him, now, what is that? 8 years. Fast forward. Colin Sexton was the next pick. Mikal Bridges was at 10. Shea was at 11. Miles Bridges was at 12. Michael Porter Jr. was at 14.
Yep.
Then at 22, we had another pick. We took Chandler Hutchinson.
Another dude that supposedly was the next Scottie Pippen. That's what everybody thought. I think he was out of what, Colorado?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody thought that.
3 picks later, Mo Wagner.
Yeah. No, I know.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. I'm going to stop doing this to myself because I'm just going to get worked up, and I want to have a good rest of the day. I want to go enjoy the snow. We got to take baby girl out to the snow. Then we're going to take her out to the snow for the first time, man.
Do it, my man.
This was a great podcast, bro. I think this was one of
so too.
And they're getting better and better after. You know what I'm saying? We're getting good at this. We're getting okay. You know,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there, man.
Right.
Hey, man, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button, man. Come through and join the fam. Find us on all our platforms. All right, all the links are down in the description, man. If you're listening to us, check us out over on the YouTube page as well. We got the Instagrams, we got the Twitter page or X, whatever you cool kids are calling it nowadays. Got a Facebook page, all that good stuff, man. So we're easy to find. So make sure you guys get a hold of us, man, and come through and be a part of this. JC, my man, always fun chopping it up, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Outside the Shot, episode 3. It's a wrap. I love it. Yes, sir.
Let's go.